I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for coming to the Derry Conservation Commission meeting. There's emergency exits located at the back of the building and to my right. If there's an emergency in the building, please don't use the elevators, use the stairs. If you need help getting out, please ask one of the commissioners to help. We'll start the meeting off with introduction of commissioners and our council liaison, starting all the way to my right.
Good evening, Charlie Foote, Derry Council Liaison.
I'm Christopher Morlock. I'm a commission alternate.
Jay Hildreth.
Rick Metz.
Bob Sproul.
Eileen Chabot, good evening.
I thought I checked that. Val Connolly, good evening.
Beth Carver, land manager.
And I'm the chair, Ricardo Bazanga, with a lot of feedback. Okay, first order of business is the approval of minutes for November 3rd, 2025. I'll entertain a motion. Oh, wait, sorry, Mr. Metz. With the absence of Councilor Sherrill, I'm going to ask our newest alternate to sit on her behalf. Could you sit for her on her behalf?
I can, yes.
All right, great. So we're going to have our alternate sit. First order of business is approval of minutes for November 3rd, 2025. I need a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from past meeting.
Second.
We have a motion on the floor by Val, second by Mr. Metz. All those in favor say aye.
Can I offer a small correction?
Absolutely.
So sorry. The spelling of Karis.
Oh, yeah.
On
I noticed that too.
My copy has a correction written on it. I assume
that was from me.
Oh,
Yes. Could you please let Tammy know where exactly that is?
yes. So the spelling of Karis in the reporting compliance section is currently spelled Cares. It's 2 A's, please.
Okay, so the motion was made by Val. Val, will you accept that friendly amendment to your motion?
Yes, I do. Thank you.
It was seconded by Mr. Metz. Mr. Metz, will you accept that friendly amendment to your second?
Yes.
Okay, having the minutes amended properly, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone in opposition? Any abstention?
Aye.
So we have one abstention by Mr. Metz. Let the file be noted. All right, next order of business tonight, we have site plan review, 18 Cemetery Road, map number 5, lot number 69. And that is as corrected on the agenda. The original agenda was incorrect, but we have corrected it this tonight. And our presenter.
Good evening, Commission. My name is Brent Cole with Granite Engineering. I am here tonight representing the Butterfield Revocable Trust for a property on the corner of Cemetery and Humphrey Road. The property is 12.5 acres. It is currently a maintained field. There was an existing home at the very northwest corner that does not exist anymore. The driveway still does, but that's about it. It is a very nice piece of land, and we are looking to do a 4-lot frontage subdivision. So no roadways, no real infrastructure, just a frontage chop subdivision. There'll be 2 lots that will drive access off of Cemetery Road, and there'll be 2 lots that will drive access off of Humphrey Road. These lots range from 2 acres to 4 acres. They will need private wells as well as private septic systems. For the Conservation Commission, there are wetlands that are on site, hence why we're here tonight. There's a stream that kind of runs down the middle of the property and bifurcates the property. That's why we have 2 driveways off of Humphrey and 2 off of Cemetery. By doing this configuration, we avoid all wetland impacts. So we won't have to go to DES for any sort of wetland crossing or anything like that. In terms of stormwater, we have proposed individual rain gardens for each of the houses. Each house and driveway will drain into the rain garden to allow the water to be treated and infiltrated prior to any discharge into the groundwater or any other wetlands. There is silt fence shown on the plan. I learned from last time that I was here, you guys like that kind of surrounding the entire construction activity. So we have peppered the place with silt fence to try to prevent any erosion into the wetlands. But like my last presentation, this is a pretty simple one. One extra lot, so a 4-lot subdivision, 2 lots off of Humphrey, 2 lots off Cemetery. And with that, Mr. Chair, I'll hand it back to you.
All right, so the goal, I'll start questions off. There'll probably be other questions from the commissioners or comments. So the goal for having access from 2 separate roads was to mitigate any wetland impact. That was the goal, right?
Correct. There's a wetland that bifurcates the property and leaves upland on one side and upland on the other side. Lucky for us, we've got 2 roads with plenty of frontage.
That's great. So how close to any of the wetlands are any impacts? Like how far away are you from all of them? Looks like you're pretty far away, but.
Yeah, I would say we are likely at least 30 feet. I mean, you can see that there's a buffer line here that we're completely out of. I know that's just a building setback, but we don't really have any grading within that either. There is a well that may be within the buffer, but I believe that's an allowed use. And that's to prevent having to put a well in more of the upland and have a crossing to have to get a well rig out there or anything like that. So we've tried to do everything to mitigate any sort of impacts out here and prevent any of that.
So no wetland impact?
No wetland impact.
And I think you're before us because it's a subdivision also, right? Not just because there's wetlands on the property?
I don't.
Major subdivision.
Yeah, 4-lot.
Major subdivision
Yeah,
has to
4-lot
come.
subdivision triggers
Okay. All Concom.
Yeah, it figures a Concom sign off. All right, my fellow commissioners, anyone have any questions on this plan, this project?
Mr. Chair,
Go ahead, Eileen.
for page, I guess it's page 3 of 8, at the top, the proposed 4-bedroom house on Cemetery Road, it's the top of the page there.
Yep.
How close is that well to the wetlands boundary? It looks like it's kind of close.
It's about 10 feet.
10 feet? Does that meet the DES rules?
Sure.
It does?
Mm-hmm.
Because I noticed the second house has a well that's 75 feet, or it's a 75-foot projected well radius that it's in?
Yeah, they all have a 75-foot protective radius. The protective radius is for the septic system.
Uh-huh.
A wetland is not, obviously it's considered clean water, so you can have a well that close to a wetland.
Yeah, it's encouraged.
Most towns actually, it's an allowed use in most do not disturb buffers. It's one of the very few allowed uses.
Just seems like it's awful close. Okay.
And I'm guessing in an impact like that, you would use like a track machine to put that well in, so there's no, yeah. Any other commissioner have a question? Comments? Is this a property that you think, without a wetland impact, is this a property, do you think, that we need to visit?
I think that I think it's set up well enough to avoid any impacts, and with it being such a large property too, I think it might be a bit to get out onto the property and see it kind of eyes, like looking with this, but I don't know, aside from that 10-foot distance, and I mean, I think that second one is also within a similar region, because this is 75.
Is that
so-
one also, the second one, also 10 feet away?
Probably more like 15, but yeah, closer. I mean, those are situated there so that we don't have to cross the wetland and get into the other parts of the upland. So yeah, they're closer, but they're actually preventing a wetland impact.
And the machine will be able to maintain within that silt fence, with the silt fence being so close to where the proposed wells are?
Yep.
I'm assuming they're drilled wells you're talking, right? So,
I'm sorry. I
a
didn't-
drilled well?
Yeah, drilled wells.
Yeah, I'm familiar with those well rigs. It's a tracked machine. The well head is on one end of the tracked machine, so they do it purposely to get as close to the wetland as possible, because that's usually where the water is. And it's a minimal impact because it's a tracked machine as opposed to a wheeled machine.
How deep will the wells be drilled?
Till we find water. Till we find water. Water is obviously a very delicate subject, especially nowadays with the
Right.
drought and everything. So I assume they'll go deep. I haven't looked at any wells in the area. All wells get documented at DES, and you can see the depths. So I don't know off the top of my head, but if I were them, I'd budget for 400 feet.
What's the purpose of the rain gardens? Drainage off of the house or the?
Yeah, drainage off the house and the driveways to make sure that we're not increasing any stormwater to the wetlands. Also, it treats the stormwater, so any sort of salt or sand that gets put on the driveways, this will go into the treatment practice, be filtered through a filter media, infiltrated back into the ground to
Yeah,
recharge the
Those are
groundwater.
excellent infiltration techniques.
They are.
Glad to see that on the plan.
And it'll also help mitigate any peak flows.
They do a great job of that.
Is that required on this project, or you guys have volunteered to do that?
I'd love to say that, it's the good nature of us that's volunteering, but Mark Lura requested some
But
sort of
But
mitigation.
it was a local request. It's not part of the stormwater runoff standards. It was Mark's specific request,
Correct.
just because of the increased sheet flow due to the roofs in the driveways. I'm glad that Mark LaRue's looking out for the community.
Yeah.
DES likes to see rain gardens.
We have an obligation to
really
make sure we don't
good
increase flows
infiltration
off-site
technique.
too.
Yeah, I get it. All right, any other comments from the commission? Tell me. Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead, Jay.
I'm interested to know what kind of vegetation is growing through the swampland area. Is it mostly grass? I'm looking at this aerial photo. It looks like mostly field.
It's been a maintained field for a long time.
Yeah.
I would say that it's mostly grass at this point.
I drove by it this morning, and you are absolutely correct. There's very little vegetation that's not grassland.
Yeah, I think Humphrey Farm was a hayfield at one point, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, with 4 new owners, it'll be up to them to decide how they want to maintain it. But yeah, for right now, it's a field.
It was horse pasture for a long, long time. All right, so it looks like we're not going to walk the site. Tell me where you are along your process. Where are you?
So we've already met with the TRC. We received comments, which is why the rain gardens are in place. We then got plans revised. We submitted to you guys. So you guys are seeing some revised plans. We've got to get the TRC. We got to submit those plans back to TRC for final signatures, and then we'll go to planning board.
Okay, so you don't need signatures from us at this point?
Not tonight, but within the next, couple weeks or so.
All right, so I think protocol-wise, because we're not going to see, unless if there's a radical change in this plan triggered by the TRC and you moving forward, I'm going to get notified by the planning board. Liz is going to tell me there's a big enough change, you guys need to take another look at that. So we could tonight put together a motion so we can move this plan along, to have the chair sign the plan in its present form, and as long as there's not major changes to that plan, then that signature will stay. And that'll be a determination by Mark and the people in the planning office. But if there's not a big change, you'll be done with us. And so I can't influence what the board should do, but that's something we could do.
We have all the TRC comments, so we know all of them. We don't expect any changes from there.
We have a
but-
representative on TRC also.
There were a lot of comments, but I mean, they're all
They're just
fairly simple.
Yeah, Mark wants a little bit of a deeper ditch and things like that. Mostly stuff that is in terms of the edge of the roadway
Right,
type of thing.
right.
So what's the pleasure of the commission?
I move to approve the pending plans for map 5 lot number 69, 4-lot subdivision bordered on Cemetery Road and Humphrey Road. Conditional approval and signature by the board chair.
Okay, we have a first by Mr. Metz. Is there a second?
A second.
We have a second by Jay and Bob. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Hearing none, it's unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, sir.
Okay, next on the agenda, we have Chair's report. My only thing I have to report is our newest change in, I'll say, the direction of the commission include weekly conversations with myself and our land manager, Beth. And you know, we find a good time to talk to each other, talk about the what's before the commission for work, prioritize those goals, and I think we're running very efficiently because of it. So that was a suggestion that our land manager made to me, which I think was a great suggestion, and we're getting a lot of stuff done, and that's kind of a catalyst of it. So that being said, because I have those conversations with Beth, if a commissioner has something on their mind or their goals, please communicate those with me, and don't wait for a meeting, because we have Beth working for us all the time, so we can get stuff going between meetings as opposed to waiting for meetings to get things going. Secondly, we did have a PBN for the property that we walked, the Kilray Road property. That came through with our comments integrated into it. And the only other communication we had was that from Granite Engineering on this project before us. So that is all I have for Chair's report. We will move on to committee reports, starting off with Jay Hildreth on Community Gardens.
The biggest news was the wonderful event we had last Saturday. We didn't know who was going to show up. Nobody responded, none of the gardeners, to the emails that Beth was sending out, but it turned out to be, I'd say, about 8 people. It varied, and we enjoyed ourselves while we were cleaning up the garden, and it looks great. All the fencing is gone, tucked away. For those who didn't show up, we decided to just take up the fencing and take up the poles and leave them in the plot to give them, the people who didn't show up, a chance to clean it up themselves. But thinking that if they don't show up ever until the spring, we'll at least have those fences out of the ground, which would be frozen. It's going to be frozen very soon. We had snacks, but I think everyone was just so focused on the work. We did a lot of work. Beth was running around with the truck, helping some of the gardeners above and beyond. It was great to talk about our experiences this summer with the gardeners, and to talk about, the future ideas, and look forward to solidifying a list of events throughout the year so the gardeners know when to expect and what to expect as we go through our season. And I have to say that I think it's really wonderful that we do live in a temperate climate, that we get to go through the 4 seasons. I really enjoy it, all the changes and the different changes in routine. There's no reason to get bored living in New England. That's it.
Okay, since I'm next on the list, I'll go ahead. Personnel, again, we have 2 employees. They're both doing a very good job. Appreciate the work you do. Both very communicative. There we go, I got it out. Tammy taking the minutes, doing all our notes, all the stuff she does behind the scenes. And Beth does a lot more than a lot of people realize. She's like 7 days a week, not 24 hours a day, but a lot. Between meetings with Doug, meetings with other commission members. I think we've got a couple good picks and people we want to keep. That's it.
Thank you, Mr. Metz. I'm going to add to our personnel subcommittee. We have our newest member, Christopher Morlock, our newest commissioner, and we need to plug him in to one of our committees. And I think we talked about state compliance and reporting compliance. Is that what we agreed on?
Yes.
All right, so we're going to plug in our newest commissioner, Christopher Morlock, as a member of Eileen's committee, which is state compliance. And Val's committee, which is reporting compliance. So you guys get Chris acclimated, get him to work, share the work, okay?
And was it Lockmore or Morlock?
Morlock, right?
Last name is Morlock, yeah.
Yeah, Morlock. Christopher Morlock. And Beth, you're going to get him a name tag, please. Thank you. Okay. Do you want to take public out? Who wants to take public outreach that Cheryl is not here?
I could speak to it. I mean,
Okay.
Rick could speak to it, too. Rick and I met with Cheryl, I want to say it was like last Monday? Yeah, last Monday morning. We had a really good discussion. Unfortunately, Beth wasn't able to make it, but the three of us had a really good discussion about moving forward on the public outreach, and ideas we had included, a look at the past. I kind of, forwarded the idea that I could contribute many photographs that I've taken over the years of our different conservation lands, and we could marry those up with stories and educate the public about the history of our conservation lands. Rick had some ideas as well. Rick, you want to talk about that?
I was born and raised here, so I know pretty much a lot of the history, but there are other people around. Rick Holmes has written several books on the town of Derry.
Back in the horse and carriage days, right? Was it cars then?
Well, there used to be a trolley that ran from Chester to Derry and ran down
Model Ts.
East Derry Road. Yeah, I wasn't here. He was, not me. But people like that, get them involved. The new town historian, a little younger than Rick Holmes, but get them involved with what they have, because they have all that in one spot, and we can
Right.
use that. You have all your photos that you've taken, but
Yep.
the town historian has quite a bit of information that we can use too. So, and obviously our Facebook page, obviously to us, our Facebook page is up. Hopefully we all get on it and share it to our own pages if we have them. Just to get, that's what it's all about, is awareness of what we have in town to offer for people to use that's already paid for. That it doesn't cost them extra to use it. So that's basically, I think we're making, with what Beth's doing with mapping and that kind of stuff, we're making some progress into getting that information so you can get it in one spot. It's usable. You can look at it and say, oh yeah, let's do that. So I think we're making some progress.
Yeah, we can make like storyboards,
Yeah.
that help educate the public about what we're about and what we have to offer.
All right, thank you. I'm enjoying the Facebook posts. I think, from an outsider looking in, that I don't know how fun that cleanup was at the gardens, but the pictures looked like it was a lot of fun.
If you have,
Was it fun?
if you have snacks, if you're gonna have snacks,
If you had snacks and you couldn't even get to your snacks, it must have been pretty good. Because I would snack first, during, and then maybe at the end.
and take a nap.
Yeah. All right, moving along. We have Mr. Metz for TRC.
Okay, I don't know.
Actually, Mr. Metz.
What?
Why don't we talk about what TRC is, so our newest alternate, Christopher, who's a member tonight, knows what TRC is.
TRC was developed several years ago, I don't know how many, Charlie, but at least a decade or more. We used to go to each department with the plans, and someone came up with the bright idea of having all the departments together in one room when we get plans presented to us like we did tonight, So they've had the plans for a week or two. They've all made their own notes and comments. So it's a one-stop shop to get unanimous approval by all the departments, fire, police, planning, all of that, conservation, engineering, all that in one room, so they only have to do it once instead of going to each individual office and getting approvals. And I've been involved, Rick asked me to do that. I'm learning quite a bit. Liz and Caroline and the planning officer have been a big help as far as getting me information to what we review, what we don't review, what we have to review versus what we can review. So that's basically it. It's a one-stop shop. Usually they can do it in one visit. Sometimes it takes two. Again, the gentleman alluded that they get notes. Each department head hands notes. They have to revise the plans to fit those notes and come up with solutions to the questions that they have. So usually it's just two visits. And then they go before the planning board, and I guess that's the stickiest wicket of all, is the planning board. But they get all their ducks in a row before they do that. So that's what the TRC is basically. And like I said, I've learned quite a bit. So with that, I think the only plan that I have to report on is the old sports zone that is being revamped, and it's going to be a durable trailers site. I don't know if I haven't talked about this yet, right? Okay. We'll see the plan soon because it was just in its early stages, but my couple points were storage, snow storage, eco-friendly practices for the wintertime, because there's a big wetland that runs on the northeast side of this property, and they have a big issue with the drainage itself is all clogged up. The town couldn't unclear it, so it's up to the new tenant and property owner to get this cleared. So you drive around the parking lot, they do have a fence up at the head, but there's only like 8 or 10 inches of the fence is visible under the water, and that was 2 weeks ago when I drove by. I drove by right after the TRC. So if you drive around the property on the northeast side, which is the entrance side of the building, there used to be the sports zone. If you drive along there real slow, you can see that metal fence. It's a aluminum or stainless steel fence.
If I recall correctly, too, I work right behind there, so I often go on walks and I pick up trash in that area. But I recall there also being an issue with the drainage because there was a beaver there for a while.
Yeah, that's the other issue.
Yeah.
Because as far as the town's concerned, when the beaver and that drain gets clogged, the ice, the water washes over the road,
Yeah.
freezes. So there's all kinds of issues. So Mark LaRue is on that to get that cleared up, so it'll drain. But that's the only other TRC I have to report on.
Who is Mark LaRue? Gotcha. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Metz.
Yep.
Okay, next we have state compliance. Eileen.
I don't have anything new to report this evening on that. Thank you.
Okay, nothing on state compliance. Next we have Mr. Spurl for property maintenance.
So I met the other day with Clint out at the Corneliuson Holiday Drive end. Went over with him with my proposal to get the trail in better usable shape, and he thought it was a great idea and was going to get in there with the little excavator they have. And Beth said that he was in there today, Beth? Oh. He was in there today?
Yeah, he was, yes.
Okay.
So, or a crew member was in there today. Apologies.
Yeah. And then we walked him down to the other end, and the two big trees that were hanging over the trail, he was going to take them down with the heavy equipment. It's the safest way to deal with it.
Yeah, perfect.
So,
Probably that wheeled excavator that the town has,
yeah,
yeah.
there was one of the trees that's leaning into is a forked oak. Isn't the greatest tree, but probably when he rips down the big one, it's probably going to do some damage to that tree. So we suggested just cutting it down anyways and being done with it. So that's it.
Good. Also, your your kind of action plan and analysis on that tree that has the bridge over it.
Oh, yep.
So I brought your suggestions to our town administrator, and we're waiting to hear back for an action plan on that. I think Beth might actually be going over it on her land manager report. So I forwarded your assessment, and we're waiting to hear back from Mike Fowler. Commissioners and members of the public, Pam Piero, our alternate, is here to my left, sitting next to our land manager, Beth Carver. She was sitting in the audience. She's been here since the beginning of the meeting, so I asked her to come up and sit with us. So Pam Piero, our alternate, is here to my left, next to Beth Carver. All right, next we have land acquisition for myself, and we have two items now in our in land acquisition that we'll talk about in non-public. The one that we've been talking about, and we have a newer one that came through this week that I'll discuss at non-public. But moving along with land management, I asked the land manager earlier today to ask our the folks in the mapping department for the town to get us we had a map 10 years ago that showed all the undeveloped large pieces of property in the town. It's a big, it's an easel-sized map. And there was an old one downstairs in our office, in the conservation office downstairs, that we were looking at earlier today. So we're going to ask the folks that do the GIS system for the town to develop a new one for us, and then we're going to take that map and kind of use it to guide us to be that competing interest on land purchases in the town. So that's a step we're taking. Next, we have reporting compliance. Val Conley.
Hi, thank you. Circling back to some past things, the Cares property, I was able to find last year's report, and I did hear from Katie. She's in the process of wrapping up 2025 reports, and from that folder that you'd given me, I saw we had some 2025, so I'm assuming with the aerial report having been done, we were notified about that earlier, that the Cares report will be out with this batch that she's churning out. And then with the tree stands, I did hear back from, I can't remember who exactly, but someone got back to me and said that the Public Works should be able to take care of those for us, and I have to go out and pull the exact location of them, not just the rough one on the map. But then I might be working with you and trying to get in contact with DPW to get those out of there.
Okay.
But now with that having action going forward, I can actually submit the report. That way we're in compliance with the 30-day notification of any of these issues. So that's kind of something that I was waiting on for that. And yeah, I think that's all I have for that.
Okay, thank you, Val. While we're in reports, and before you do your report, Beth, we should try to get Pam into a committee. Does Pam have a list of committees in front of her?
She does, but
Does she want to think about it?
yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
All right, so Pam, you got about 10 minutes, so think about it.
No pressure.
We'll bring it up again under other business. All right, so moving along, we'll go to the land manager report.
Okay. So we're chugging along with the fire safety project. The CWPP committee is going to meet again on Wednesday, and we'll have John Neely there for questions and guidance on our next steps. Jay covered everything about the community garden, and one thing with property maintenance and monitoring. So we have developed a standard operating procedure for responding to inquiries from abutters with concerns with trees that are on our property but abutting their property. So we have a way to respond to that. And we have a scout troop kind of waiting in the wings, and we're going to set something up in January to replace some of the wooden boards on a particular bridge in Coalmarsh when the water is frozen. With public outreach, Cheryl is now keyed into the town-owned Facebook page, so she'll be able to post on our behalf. And I did apply for Derry to participate in the NHACC's public outreach program, and that's going to be winter, spring 2026 is when that's supposed to take place. So we have an application in, and I'm sure there's a process to be chosen, so hopefully we'll get to do that. And it was, I think I mentioned last time, brought to, or maybe I didn't, but it was brought to our attention at the NHACC meeting that non-commission members are able to be members of subcommittees. So that is something for subcommittee chairs to think about, maybe reaching out. We have a limit of how many commissioners can be on each subcommittee, but we can, invite, if we had groups of 5 to 6 people on each subcommittee, that would be a good group of people to get a lot done. And then, so Rick Metz already mentioned this, but share that Facebook page with your friends, because that's how we get the word out, and that's how we get followers. And if you are not sure how to do that, you can reach out to me. I put together a little infographic that'll show you how to do it. So there's no excuses. And then with learning opportunities, if you hear of any learning opportunities from a credible source that you want us to share, please do share that with me, because we don't actually have any learning opportunities that we're promoting right now. So if you do hear anything through the grapevine, please let me know, and then I'll post that, not just via Facebook, but I can post that on the town website under the Conservation Commission. And then for operations, so Doug Rathburn's confirmed that Val can get a derrynh.gov email account, which is going to be good since she's reporting compliance. She'll have an official email for communications on that. And then we have a $50 blanket approval for me to purchase items as needed without having to get prior authorization from Rick.
All right, so we need a motion and a vote on that. So what Beth is saying is, throughout the week, Beth will reach out to me and ask if she can buy a thing of Lifesavers for $1.25. And
$7 worth of flagging.
And I'll have to approve it and send Sheila a written approval. So we asked if we could have a blanket authority for Beth at her discretion to spend up to $50 without my approval, obviously on Conservation Commission appropriate purchases, and I trust her judgment to do that. So we need a motion and a vote on that.
So I move to approve blanket permission for Conservation Commission purchases up to $50 for Beth Carver without prior approval from the chair.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
As we have first by Mr. Metz, a second by Val Conley. Mr. Foote, do we need a roll call on that? Because it's kind of yeah, okay.
Doesn't hurt.
So we'll have a roll call vote on that motion. So that we have a motion that's first. We have a second to give Beth blanket authority to spend up to $50 for Conservation Commission purposes. Can our secretary make sure that this is perfectly noted in the minutes, because Beth is going to have to supply the minutes to the finance office in order to get that approval. So we'll start all the way to my right with Christopher, yay or nay?
Yay.
Jay?
Approve?
Mr. Metz?
Yes.
Mrs. Spurl?
Yes.
Ms. Chabot?
Yes.
Ms. Conley?
Yes.
And the chair votes yes, so it's unanimous. Thank you. Anything else, Beth?
Nope, that is the end. Thank you for your faith in me.
Thank you. All right. Okay, next we have Councilor Foote with a council report.
Thank you. I guess one big thing to report is this past Wednesday on the 12th, we had a groundbreaking at Abbott Court. So for those who don't know, Abbott Court is down off of Central Street in Sawyer Court area. It's where the parking lot is right now. and it was a former, I think, a fuel depot years and years ago, right, Rick?
Yep.
So for decades, it's been talks about what to do with that property. So a few years back, we got a community block grant, and that money allowed us to get a feasibility and planning study. That took a couple of years. We finally were able to do something with that. We then partnered up with a company out of North Carolina called Lansing Melbourne Group, LMG, and we entered into a memorandum of understanding with them, and we have a public-private relationship. So this month, they'll be starting the digging, and what it will be initially will be a 300-car parking garage, and then the second part of that will be they're going to put apartments above that, be 114 apartments above that, and then the Phase 2 commercial building with 2 outbuildings will be retail. And I guess the thought behind that is that we'll revitalize downtown, and with 4A coming in, that will have more of a boom down there, and the retail will cater to the rail trail. So that's the thought. So it's those funds, it's a $20 million parking garage, and that comes out of the TIF funds, so there'd be no tax impact to the taxpayers. It's all the money that's coming from the TIF districts. So it's going to be good for downtown. So that's it.
At least now we'll know where the parking is, right?
Yeah, at least, so it's always been there, people just don't know it's there. And it was, it's dark, and people sometimes don't like going down there, but the Adams Memorial Building, and they get a lot of business in there, that, there's a lot of shows downtown, so this will be very good.
Will the parking be free?
Oh, I was going to ask that.
Oh, no.
So, well, initially, potentially, but down the road, at some point, they may be charged, like probably 10 years from now. It's still to be determined. But yeah, so some of the parking will be for the residents once that's built, and then the other half will be for the downtown.
For the public?
Yeah. So as of right now, it'll be free for a period of time. I'm guessing a few years, but then as time goes on, then a lot of moving parts to this.
Yeah.
It's not finalized.
That's all laid out in the contract with LMG anyway, right?
Yeah. So I think it's about 10 or 11. I think year 11. I think it is. I can't remember the top of my head, but I think it's year 11 when that will kick in. But it's going to be good for downtown. So.
Anything else on 4A, Charlie?
Progress is being made. If you all drive by, you sit in the traffic while they're doing it. But it's on schedule. Last I heard, it's on schedule.
Did they bring a water main or sewer main all the way up into 102? Is that what they did on Chinito? Is that part
believe
of that?
so.
Yeah, part of that project?
I believe so. So yeah, as far as I know, they're fairly on schedule. They do it in phases, A, B, and C. And
Do they have a target opening date for the actual off-ramp yet, or do you know?
27 or 28, I think it's 27.
27, okay.
Yeah, and then, yeah, that's it, but it's a work in progress.
Nice. All right, thank you, Charlie. We have update on, I'll take update on conservation activities and other business together. First, on other business, we had talked about having one meeting in December. And I think we chose that we're going to have the one on the 15th. Is that ringing a bell with everybody?
Yeah. Yes.
So we're going to have just that December 15th meeting in December, and then we won't meet again until, when would our January meeting be?
The 5th and the 19th?
So the first Monday would be the 5th, right?
Yeah.
And the 19th, that was the conflict. So the 19th is Martin Luther King Day.
Yeah.
And I think that's a city hall, town hall's closed holiday now.
Yeah.
Is it, Charlie? It is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why that's why I was thinking about this. So if we do the 15th, do you want to do the 15th and the 12th? Because if we're going to only have one meeting in January, should we push it to
the 12th
the,
instead of the 5th?
yeah, because that way that we have more time for applicants?
Yeah.
Yeah, you like that?
that,
Does everyone
yeah.
like that?
Yeah, so I will be able to attend the 12th, but I will be on vacation for the week of the 5th. So
Okay.
the 12th would be best.
12th would be better for you? Okay, good.
I'm on vacation both times, sorry.
He's like, yeah. So Mr. Metz retired today. Today's his first day of retirement.
And
We're gonna need a vice chair, because I'm not hanging around all winter either, Ricky, I'm telling you right now, so we're gonna need.
I'll let you know when I'll be
We're gonna
gone.
need an assistant vice chair. So you're gone both those days?
yeah, my anniversary trip and then a 2-week trip.
Oh, well, that's a factor then. So the 15th, I'm fine, I can
Oh,
handle
no,
the
the
15th.
December 15th? No, I'm
December
home.
15th?
I'm home, I'm
You're
sorry.
here for the 15th?
I'm here for the
Okay, you're
15th.
just not here on January,
Right.
Well,
all right, so you're only gonna miss
One.
the January
12th.
12th. Okay, that's cool. All right, so that sound good to everybody?
Yeah.
December
Yes.
15th, January 12th. You know what, why don't we wrap that up in a motion, and then our land manager can notify Sheila of that and put it on the website. So how about a motion, Mr. Metz?
Move to change our meeting dates for December to one meeting, December 15th, and January 12th.
I'll second that motion.
All right, so we have a motion on the floor, Mr. Metz, seconded by Ms. Chabot. We're going to condense our meetings in December and January and adjust our schedule to correspond with the holidays. And our meetings will be on December 15th and on January 12th. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone in opposition? Hearing none, so that's unanimous. Okay, Ms. Pero, your 10 minutes are up. How do you feel about, I was reading your application,
Yeah,
and how do you feel about at least getting started with community gardens? Does that kind of fits into what?
that's probably,
Yeah.
this time of year, it'd be fabulous, I
Yeah.
guess.
You can help out Jay and Beth on the community gardens?
Val?
Wherever is, I guess, needed the
Yeah,
most.
and then the only other thing I was thinking, but we've got Chris helping Eileen and Val with reporting and state compliance, because looking at your resume here, it looks like that would be up your alley. But why don't we get you started with the community gardens? You can jump in with them,
That's fine.
and then as you attend more meetings and
Oh,
see
yeah.
what we're doing, you can let us know what else you want to get involved in.
Sure.
We try to have everybody be on 2 committees, okay?
Okay,
And the committees do a lot more work than what we do here.
okay.
They're the working part of the commission.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, so we're going to add our newest alternate to the Community Garden Committee.
In other business, or you said you were wrapping that up right now?
Do you have something?
I think we've talked about it in past. I didn't know if I needed to say another business for the net zero task force rep.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Yeah. There is a opening for the net zero task force to have a conservation commissioner be present and as a representative to kind of sit in and keep tabs on what they're doing. And I've gone to the last few meetings, and unofficially, of course, because I didn't know if that was something that I needed to get a motion for approval or anything to sit on there.
Yeah, probably would be a good idea.
Yeah. Do I make the motion? Or am I able?
No, we'll have
I'll
someone nominate.
move that
Yeah, so,
Val
we-
Connolly be the Conservation Commission representative for the Net Zero Committee for the town.
Second.
All right, first and second discussion on the motion. Tell the commission and the public a little bit about what the Net Zero Task Force is.
Yeah, so the Net Zero Task Force has been working to get, a net zero carbon footprint out for the municipalities of Derry. They had a project going with some rechargeable stations. I know there was some back and forth with that for a bit. And they've been working to kind of make sure that our electric bill stays within kind of an acceptable range and figure out why that's going that way. That was something that was big at the last meeting. And they've been working on getting those solar panels up to, with, I believe, one source? Don't quote me on that, but the solar panels were last up, and they were getting a pad down for a generator last we spoke. So excited to see where that's going. But yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a perfect place for Concom to be involved in, so thank you for volunteering for that, Val. So motion and second on the floor. All those in favor say aye.
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 Anyone in opposition? Hearing none, motion carries. So we have our member on the Net Zero Task Force. I'm going to ask our secretary and recording secretary to add a bullet point in our reports to include a report from the Net Zero Task Force representative. Val Conley. And then Val, do you need an alternate to sit on that for you if you can't attend a meeting? You want to check with them?
Yeah, I'll check with them.
All right, so let's check with them, and maybe we'll have a second commissioner that will sit in her stead if she's unable to attend a meeting. How often do they meet?
They meet on the third Thursday of the month.
Once a month?
Yep, once a month.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Anyone else have other business they need to bring forward?
I
No?
have, I
Yes?
have one thing. It's
Go.
kind of.
Yeah, do it.
I wanted Cheryl to be here too, but I have something that I've been cooking up to present to the Public Outreach Committee. Something that I've been feeling is, especially maybe as a reporting commissioner, but feeling like I'm really wrapped up in the paperwork and kind of getting everything, like absorbing all of this knowledge. But as Rick had mentioned earlier, we're focused, another part of our mission is to get people out onto these properties, to using things that, they don't have to pay for and to enjoy them. And I have been looking into trying to figure out a different name for it. It's called forest bathing.
Forest what?
Forest bathing.
Bathing?
It's not what that sounds like. It's really just about really being present and immersing yourself in nature, kind of having like almost a meditative kind of experience and connecting with that. And I feel like with everything going on, all of the ways that people can be absorbed by technology and absorbed in the day-to-day, how busy it can get, especially around these types of, busy times of the year. People kind of forget that they can escape into the woods for a little while and breathe the fresh air. And there's been a lot of benefits shown to, spending more time outside, of course. But I have a guinea pig group that I'm working with this upcoming Sunday to kind of see how that goes and maybe kind of bring it forward to you guys to let you know how that went and what people kind of thought of it. So, yeah, that's something that I've been cooking up.
Yeah.
One of the things. Other things are secret, but
Can't wait
that
to
I'm
hear
really
about it.
excited for.
Yeah.
Yeah, can't wait. Sounds great. Thank you, Val.
I think we can definitely share that on, like publicly if you would like to, even just as an encouragement for, it doesn't necessarily have to be like a scheduled event, but people just as the poke, like, hey, go forest bathing.
Yeah, so I have a couple social media post templates drawn up, but something that the reason I've kind of withheld that is the guinea pig group I'm working with works in town, so some of them are my coworkers and things, but I'm going somewhere that kind of falls in line with what could be a little bit more accessible to people. So we're actually going to White's Park up in Concord, and yeah, it's a really nice place, but I know that not everyone does have access and time to be going out into the woods on some of these properties that we have that are absolutely gorgeous. Some people just have enough time to go for a walk with their kids in the park. So I was using it as a little in between, seeing how it played out, how if people felt those same kind of benefits from something as going into the wooded trail on a park.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, makes it cool.
Thank you, Val. Anyone else have anything to bring forward? No, hearing none. So we do have a non-public meeting tonight, and we're going to need to, Counselor Foote, remind me, so we've impaneled Mr. Christopher as a member tonight. We have not impaneled Ms. Piero. So
Still invite her.
So we can just invite her?
Yeah.
So we can invite her, we can invite you. Beth, do you want to join?
I would like to, but Pamela has not been sworn in. I just asked her.
No?
So,
Okay, all right.
yeah.
Okay. All right, so you do want to be invited? Okay, so we'll invite Counselor Foote. We do not need to invite Christopher because he's already a commissioner tonight, and we're going to need to invite Beth. Remind me on the protocol, please, Counselor Foote, do we need to close this meeting first, or can we go right into non-public?
You can recess, go into non-public, and then after the non-public, then you come out and then you close the regular meeting.
Close the meeting? Okay, so making sure that we're done with our business for tonight and entering non-public, I'd like to thank Ms. Piero and Chris. Do you go by Chris or Christopher?
I prefer Christopher.
Okay, so Christopher, I'm going to forget that at least a dozen times, so you can just keep correcting me. For coming tonight, it's kind of, I've been on this side of this thing for a long time, and we've never had this many people on this side. So it's nice. It's nice to see the enthusiasm and the participation we have. So let's keep it going. Mr. Metz,
Move to go into recess.
I'll
motion to
second.
go into recess, seconded by Val. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none. Mr. Metz?
Move to go into non-public session per RSA 91A, paragraph 3, section 2, for the purpose of discussing land acquisition.
Okay, there's a motion on the floor to go into non-public. Is there a second?
Second?
Second by Mr. Spurl and Ms. Chabot. We need a roll call vote on this, starting with Christopher. Yea or nay? Aye.
Aye.
Yes.
Aye.
Mr.
Aye.
Metz?
Yes.
Eileen?
Yes.
Val?
Yep.
Chair votes yes. I need a motion to invite Counselor Foote and Land Manager Carver.
Move to invite Counselor Foote and Land Manager Carver to the non-public.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Christopher. Roll call vote starting to my right.
Aye.
Aye.
Yes.
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 Aye.
Chair votes yes. All right, so
Now in non-public.
we are now in non-public. I'm going to have to ask Pamela to